The route to Chile's referendum went through this subway station. Students mostly, protesting a rise in fares. A heavy-handed response from security personnel led to stunning scenes of mass protest in the streets of Santiago and other Chilean cities. Dozens died during riots, arson, and looting that caused extensive damage and prompted a military presence on the streets. But the peaceful protesters persevered, calling for an overhaul of Chile's social and economic model and gaining a key demand, a vote on whether to toss out the old Magna Carta. The constitution adopted during the brutal 17-year dictatorship of General Augusto Pinochet, which ended in 1990, a period when thousands were tortured, killed, or they were disappeared. This will be a historic event. For the first time in the history of the Republic, we will be consulted on whether or not we want a new constitution and who should draft it. The subway stations were cleaned up after the demonstrations and rioting a year ago, but emotions have been peaking again. Peaceful anti-government demonstrations last Sunday were marred by the burning of 2 churches, vandals cheering the collapse of a church spire. Not what those promoting a yes vote on a change to the Constitution want their protests to be remembered for. We're not seeing any change. Healthcare is the same, pensions. That's what we're fighting for. For more than a year, our pensions, our wages, our education, everything. But I don't see any change. After a year of the social upheaval, I am out in the street because I want changes to our health system. On the other side, thousands have hit the streets to protest against change. No, they say, to a rewrite of the Constitution. By shifting to a new constitution, we're in great danger of falling into something like what happened to Venezuela. If it happened to Venezuela, why wouldn't it happen to us? We'll keep the same constitution and make the necessary reforms to it. No voters insist the government working within the present constitution will help those left behind since the Magna Carta was adopted. Yes voters say start from scratch with the participation of the people and let the world see what Chilean democracy 2.0 looks like.
DW's Johan Ramirez joins us from the Chilean capital, Santiago. Johan, what's at stake in this referendum?
Tomorrow, Chile will define whether or not they want to have a new constitution, and also they will choose through which mechanism they want this new constitution to be drafted. More than 15 million people are called to vote tomorrow after a year of massive protests that have been held in this same place, the Plaza Italia, Italy Square, that has been the main hotspot of the protest. Today, it was very calm during the day, and now, as the evening comes, we have seen some people protesting against the police, some people throwing rocks against the police, and the police and militaries moving around to prevent any clash in this day, just a few hours before the referendum takes place here in Chile.
Now, a new referendum has been one of the key demands from the protesters. Why are they so opposed to the current one?
One of the main critics that people do against this constitution is the legitimacy of the origin of the constitution. It was written during the dictatorship of Augusto Pinochet more than 30 years ago. It was written for people who was not chosen by the people in an electoral event in a time where there were not free press ni international observers. So it's a legacy of the dictatorship, and there are many things, many public policies that cannot be taken, that cannot take place because of this constitution. So the main social changes that need Chile are in a way blocked because of this constitution.
Now, if Chileans vote in favor of the new constitution on Sunday, are we likely to see an end to the anger?
It doesn't look alike. I mean, there are many problems, like ground problems in Chile that are beyond this constitution. I mean, Chile needs really important public policies to change the health system, many other things, education, for all people. And these things cannot be changed just because of a vote. It's a first step, but it will change the framework of the state. But the heart of the problems are public policies. For that, we need also the will of politicians. And as I tell you, right now we listen already the clashes, people throwing rocks against the police, and we feel already a little bit the pepper gas that maybe the police are start moving around, because the vote tomorrow is very important, but it won't change the main problems of the country, no, from one day to another.
Thank you, Johan. Johan Ramirez there in Santiago.